Hello, and today we're going to play a not Spectrum game. We're going to play Castlevania Circle of the Moon. This is one of my favourite Castlevania games, and I think my favourite Metroidvania, which is a bit weird because I think my favourite game ever, the game I consider the best ever, has to be Super Metroid. Super Metroid is my favourite game ever. Yet, this is my favourite Metroidvania, which doesn't seem to make sense. So it starts the usual thing. I'm going to use fast forward on this start bit, but basically Dracula's back, you've got to kill him. But first, you've got to go through loads of things in his castle before you can kill him. That's basically the way it works. That's how all Metroidvanias work. So, geez, fast forward, this Carmilla lady summoned Dracula, she shows up later. Dracula's just getting into his groove and some vampire hunters come along and want to stop him. He keeps the old one and gets rid of the two young ones. Hugh, he turns up later too, throughout the game, but you play Nathan Graves. Start with, you can only walk, you can't run, you have to double tap to run later, which some people don't like, but I just got used to it when I first played this. And it's the usual things in Metroidvania games. You get sub-weapons that are powered by hearts. Oops, took a hit there. You get magic in this game. You have a card system, which I should get a card quite quickly. Right, I'm going to use this big heart to fill up my hearts. You can jump, you've got whip attack, and later you get other attacks. You collect items that give you extra defense and strength and things like that. There's quite a lot to the game. That slide attack's really useful, especially there. I remember discovering that by accident the first time I played this game. The game came out on the Game Boy Advance, not sure when, I haven't got a clue to be honest. And when it first came out on the original Game Boy Advance, because the screen wasn't backlit, it was really dark and dingy and hard to play. You had to play it in really good light. I remember getting sunburn on the back of my head. There's our first cards. You need two before you can do anything. So cards combine. You have two cards that can combine. I'm sure of that. DSS. You get an action card and an attribute card. The action card decides kind of what happens, and the attribute card, they're kind of elemental. So there's different elements you can use. You get fire, you get ice, you get plants. And you combine them and they have different effects. Some cards are defensive, some cards are offensive. One of the first things I always do, so this is an action RPG, and the first thing I do in any RPG is grind a little. So I'm going to grind around here a few levels, but before anything else, I'm going to go and get... the running boots. So that's your sub-weapon. That one's the dagger. The best one is the cross, and we will find that later in the game. Oh, I didn't kill that. That kind of slide attack is really good for those worms. They will poison you, and being poisoned isn't fun. Now in this next room there's a big ugly demon. And we're not going to fight him because we'll probably die. There he is. Later on he's really easy, but right now we're not going to fight him. You get a card from him, and we'll come back and farm him for that card a bit later. Well, first thing we're going to do is get the ability to run. So you find various items and they give you abilities. Now we can double dash, double tap, and we run. I don't think I'm in danger of dying here, but I normally manage to do that without losing so much health. Always like a good grind early in an RPG. We'll go along there later. That's blocked off to us at the moment. There are hidden areas and there are in the game, and there are areas that when you get various abilities you can use. This kind of around here is my favourite early grinding spot. There's two things you can get here. Those bats drop a wristband, and you can wear two of those, and they up your strength, so up your attack. Right, save. I do like that mechanic when it saves, that kind of everything goes bright. I guess you're saving your soul for later. As this was Game Boy Advance, there's only the A, B and two shoulder buttons. Start brings up this screen, your kind of configuration screen. You can put items on here, we haven't got any yet. You can do your magic there, other things. I think you can set some options if you want them. Select brings up your map, so it auto maps for you, which is really useful. But I remember when I first got this game and played it, I saw it in Game, I think, and they had a second-hand Japanese version of the game. And the box art looked amazing. The box art on this game is really, really good. And I just kept looking at it and thinking, that's great. And I ended up buying the English version. I didn't want the Japanese version because I assumed all the text would be in Japanese. Don't know if it is. Don't know if you can choose. But having the text in Japanese wasn't something I fancied playing a game like this. Ah, there's our second card. So we can now see the dual card system. So we've got Mercury and Salamander. Until you use them, they don't tell you what it does, but it's a fire whip. The only problem with the fire whip is everything down here is resistant to fire. Once you've activated it and discovered what it does, it tells you. Some are hard to discover what they do. Some do things that it's really difficult to discover. Now what I was thinking I would do in this is play until... great, we've got a wristband. We can equip that and you get a little strength boost. You get a little attack boost. I'm going to save. Don't always save when I'm grinding, but useful to save when you've got something you want. Yeah, so you can see our attacks better now. And what I want is a few levels. I normally go to about level 3 or 4 when I grind here, and a couple of wristbands, which we have already. So at the moment we are level 3. Let's get one more level around here, and then we can start exploring. Actually, I am going to save because I've got another wristband. Don't want to accidentally die and then lose that. Now, farming does become a big part of this game. It can be a bit of a pain, and if I'm farming anything I'll let you know. There's also, you can kind of cheat. I never think of anything as cheating if you're actually using the game mechanic, but later on in the game there are places where you can leech experience. There's a few. In fact, there's one, it's a bit risky, where you can leech experience and a certain item that's really useful. Those batteries spawn. Quite a lot of enemies in this game that do respawn. How many XP do we need? We only need 21 XP. So let's get a level, which should be quite soon. There you go. Right, save and start on our game. You get various attributes, so any Metroidvania you're going to get certain kind of power-ups in the game that let you explore further. And after this, after I played this, I became a big fan of Metroidvania games. I played this first. This was my first real Metroidvania. I got Metroid Fusion after this. Again, we're not going to fight him, not yet. Now that running ability gives you the ability to do this jump. There is an area up there. We don't want to go there because we can't get through it yet, so there's nothing to collect there. And I'd not played Symphony of the Night. Got some armour, let's put that on. That's actually really good. That's a good start. You normally don't get those items quite as quickly as that. Got the commentary on this live, by the way. I'm not going to go back and do it. For something so big, I'm definitely not doing the commentary afterwards. You'll notice I like that slide attack and probably overuse it. Sometimes it's not a good idea to slide. And again, this is a kind of infinite spawning enemies room. Those zombies do spawn quite a lot. I have another demon and a heart power up. You get 3 main power ups in the game. You get hit points, mind points. Mind points are used for your card system. You get hit points, mind points, and hearts. As you've just seen, there's a save room around here, but there's a few things you can do. Oh, I keep thinking I can double jump. I haven't got the ability to double jump yet. Which is annoying because I keep trying to do it. Kill him. Kill him. When those bomber skeletons are really annoying, and there are tons of them at the start of the game. I guess there's tons of them at the start of the game, so you ensure you get that first card. The thing I like about this game is you get the spinning the whip ability from the start. I don't think you do that necessarily in other Castlevania games. Now, give me a look. There's a few kind of hidden areas and things around here. Yep, there's one. It's a mind power up. Now, I'm going to claim that the reason I'm not doing so well on this, because I don't feel like I am, I feel like my control's gone a bit clunky, is because I'm playing this on an emulator on my PC on a gamepad that I'm not used to. That's the reason. It's not just because I'm rubbish. Now, the first 2 areas are kind of quite open, but later on in the game you get to other areas that aren't so open. Now this is effectively a leech point in itself, because you can just stand here twirling your whip and these sprites will just keep spawning and you can just literally leech XP off them. But there's a better way where you can just leave the thing running and gain loads of XP. Yeah, there's nothing else in there. I'm gonna come up here, go to the left first, and it's, I wouldn't say it's a hidden area, but kind of is a hidden area around here. When you find a save point, it also replenishes your hit points and your mind points, which is incredibly useful. And there's nothing secret there. I have a feeling in this area that's the only thing with it. This kind of area you come into this way is huge. Exploration is the key in this game. Also filling out the map, because some of your cards later use the percentage of map for what power up they give you. Oh, I thought he was just going to do a fireball. This is the way out that we came into earlier from the other side. So I think this was the second Metroidvania after Symphony of the Night, the famous one. As I say, I played Symphony of the Night second, and I did not like it anywhere near as much. This was a much better game. Hold on, I've messed that up, haven't I? Probably because I played it first. I think when kind of the follow-ups to games significantly differ from the first one, people always like the first one you play. So if you played Symphony of the Night first, you probably like that. If you played this first, you probably like this. Oops. Now the first boss is coming up in a kind of little bit. There's a save point here. Before we fight the first boss, what I'm going to do is go and get a different sub-weapon. No, there's nothing there. There is... power up here. Useful power up. The first boss is up there. Not hard enough yet to kill those gargoyle things with a... Sometimes you miss one of them and it gets you on the way back. This area is great. You've got all these mummies that you can kill and they just keep respawning. You can farm XP here if you want to. I might have a look at what level I am and how much XP I need for the next one. I think you get about 4 for each of them. 185. I think it's worth leveling up before we fight the first boss. I should go there. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Usual RPG thing, your stats increase every time you level up. We want full hearts. I tend to save my sub-weapons and my hearts for the bosses and very rarely use them on anything else. And this is what we want. We want the Holy Water sub-weapon for the first boss. Alright, but what I'm going to do is use these to just farm a bit of XP. Normally only need 1 or 2 hits for these. The first boss isn't too hard, as long as you know the attack pattern. It has one really hard attack, but as long as you catch it early enough, it's easy to dodge. Can be a bit dangerous farming XP because these are quite tricky. Sometimes you can get a bit boxed in by them, right? One more and we're level up, that'll do. I don't know if this is by accident or by design, but there's a kind of useful mechanic in the game, whereas if you run through a room, if you run into another room and immediately press the opposite direction, you'll run back, and that can be really useful in certain parts of the game. Things where you're just farming up hearts to get your sub weapon powered back up can be useful. So the first boss is Big Doggy, big naughty doggy. We can go up here. I'd rather not lose any hit points before I get to him, but sometimes you do. Yeah, right. He's through here, and he tends to just. Oops. I already took a hit. I should have avoided that. Oh. When he howls, he brings down those orb things. They're pretty easy to avoid because they hang around him. It's a good chance to power your sub weapon back up. Right, this is the really bad attack, and I didn't manage to dodge it. Oh, I'm doing really badly here. I have to pick up my game a bit. Draw a couple of them because he's going to summon his orbs of death when I've gone near them. I think I'll still be alright. I've got a few good hits on him. Now when he goes red, run! This is actually quite useful because you can get quite a few hits in on him. There, he's dead. Yeah, he's pretty easy, that boss, especially if you have the holy water. And now we get our first reward, which is the double. We can double jump, thank God for that. Alright, and on that, I think we'll leave it there. Next one, we'll probably just get through to the next boss. There's quite a lot to do before we fight the next boss. Nah, I'll probably kill him. We're going to get a different sub-weapon that we'll try and keep for the rest of the game. There are a couple of places where sometimes you lose it. We'll just get our hearts back up in this room, save, and then we'll stop there. I'm probably going to try to do about one boss per video for these videos. In some cases there's going to be some grinding. Got all powered back up again. Alright. You know what? I'm feeling confident enough that I'm going to go to the next save point rather than back to the last one. Another level. You tend to get a load of XP when you kill a boss, so if you don't get a level when you kill the boss, you'll get one soon after. Secret area here, or secret room. Another one of these things, and hit points up. I do want to get to the save point. Although there's another secret room coming up here. And there is something I want to farm as well. So those axe armors drop a card that I want. You don't need all the cards in the game. Quite often when I play this do get all the cards. Oh, got it. Alright, no need to farm that. This emulator seems to be a bit more forgiving on the drop rate of those cards. That continues, it'll be really good. And we're nearly at the next save point, at which point I will call it a day. Get through there later. And there we go. That's starting Castlevania, Circle of the Moon. I'll say it's my favourite Metroidvania. Till next time, happy gaming.